Hello and welcome back to HardReset.Info. In this video, I will show you how to set up parental controls on TUF Gaming AX4200. Let's begin! So, I am currently on the admin panel, and if you don't want to know how to get into admin panel, I would suggest you to watch my first setup or basic setup and create a new network tutorial. Anyway, once we have done that, we can simply head into, you guessed it, Parental Controls tab. Now, by default we have enabled web and app filters. We can of course disable them if you want to, and we have client list with max limit of 64. So we have few options basically. We can simply do with, for example, we can set an adult, and we can choose which content we want to filter. So for example, we have stuff like pretty illegal word for me to say, illegal and violence and all of that. We also have instant message and communication, so we can just block some sort of blogs, which is pretty funny, but we want to probably enable it. And then we can do few stuff here. We can also unblock the peer-to-peer and file transmitter, and also streaming and entertainment. If you go to here, I guess that we'll see, yep, we can block games, so my child won't be able to play games, which is pretty sad. And we can also choose our different clients, so I will, for example, choose my phone here. We can just hit apply. But as you can see, we must press add icon and add a new rule first. So I'm guessing this is the add icon, and now as you can see we have our Realme that is currently being blocked from streaming and entertainment. Now if we hit apply, we'll notice that our Realme is now done. However, that's not all, because if we can head to time scheduling, we can enable much more. For example, we can go with my Realme once again, and we can go with block. We can go with add, let's go with edit, and now we can enable if we, for example, want to block our phone in this time specifically. And if I would apply now, this Realme that I have connected to my network is unfortunate enough to have blocked internet access entirely on those specific hours. In that case, it's basically midnight. And you can of course customize it even further. So for example, you can click on it and customize the start time. And you can even set all day, you can choose different days, different weekdays. There is a lot of space for customization. And luckily for us, if you don't know how to do it via the web, you can always do that via the application itself. So in our application, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, that was a misinput. Anyway, inside our application on our mobile phone, we can simply head into our settings here and parental controls. We can by default block all devices, which is pretty interesting, but I wouldn't really advise playing around with this feature because you can accidentally block yourself from site and from a network, and later you will only have to do it. You will only be able to get back your access by hard resetting your network, which is not very smart. So we can go with schedule block, and as you can see we have one device here. Let's remove it. So let's hit done. And now we can add it as new, so we can click plus icon. We can choose our current devices, so let's go with Realme, but of course we can also choose our PC here. So let's hit done. And now we can choose if in the hours that we are going to provide, we want to block the internet or we want to allow the internet. I'm going to keep the block. So by default we're going to block it on the weekdays. Let's leave our little Realme 14 internet access on weekends. Maybe we are not as villains as we would say. So now after hitting done, our changes should apply, and as you can see the offline schedule is on. And as you can see, you can fully customize this setting. You can block everyone from the Wi-Fi, or only a few people, or none if you are a cool parent. It's completely up to you. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you found it useful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.